In 2025, we posted 12 videos in our first impression series. And throughout those videos, we got hands-on experience in the studio and on the course with tons of discs we'd never thrown before. But which ones really stood out? Let's find out, because these were our first impressions. Hey everyone, it's Greg from Six Sided Discs. And we've been recapping our top 6 discs, comparisons, and moments from each of our series over the last few weeks. But if you haven't seen those videos yet, this is your warning, because there are spoilers galore coming up. So check the links in the video description to watch the full comparisons, analysis, and more from each of these videos. And we'll kick things off for our first impression series at number 6. They say you can only make one first impression. That is until you ditch your old manufacturer and switch to a new one that happens to be one of the best in the game. And that's exactly what AGL did when they ended their partnership with Gateway Disc Sports to have their future discs made by none other than Innova Champion Discs. They kicked off that partnership with 3 discs: their putter, the Koa, the Elm Fairway Driver, and the Sequoia. The Sequoia in particular stood out because it looks and feels an awful lot like the old Discmania DD3. And back when I got into disc golf, people loved nothing more than Innova-made Discmania. The Sequoia was a bomber. And the Elm was reliably overstable. Overall, this was a great place for AGL to begin their second first impression. At number 5, we ditch flight numbers and go for color coding? An idea that I still don't completely understand comes from Estonian manufacturer Disctroyer. Okay, I lied. They didn't ditch flight numbers, but they did add this color coding system to help identify what mold and what stability the disc is. Even if the color coding didn't really make sense, the discs were excellent. All named after birds, the sparrow was reliably overstable. The skylark was a beefy mid-range, almost as beefy as their fairway driver, the stork. But they saved the flippiest for last, as the starling distance driver was a bomber. The color coding didn't make sense, but the discs did. Right on, Disctroyer. Right on. Moving on to number 4, where we made a mistake. We took a long overdue look at a bunch of Gateway discs, having already explored several brands manufactured by Gateway. The Wizard we tested was a new prototype blend, and boy was it overstable. While the Ghoul and its subtle thumb track felt great and flew just as well. But one of the standout performers was the Realm. Their Destroyer numbered distance driver was quite impressive. We had a couple Realms to try out, and they were all super comfy in the hand, and they all flew great as well. Sorry we took so long, Gateway. Our bad. At number 3 are some of the coolest new discs we've looked at in a long time. While we were at Ledgestone, we found some crazy discs right behind us at the Forged Discs booth. And I was so excited, I bought 3 of them on the spot and started writing the script for the video before we even got home to throw them. Now, I've felt 3D printed discs before, but there was something special about the nail, the ash, and the temper from Forge. It probably had something to do with the changing colors and stunning holographic effects. Oh, and good news, they flew almost as good as they looked. The nail was a nice, overstable throwing putter. While the ash was a smooth, straight mid-range. And the temper was a flat-top, overstable T-bird style fairway. We were excited to get a wholesale order from Forged Discs, and apparently you were too, because there's only a couple left. We can't wait to see what's next from Forged Discs. But first, we need to look at a disc with 9 glide. 9 glide? Yes, 9 glide. Way back in January, we got our hands on a new brand from Denmark, Supersonic Discs, who generously sent us an entire box of discs to test, and they blew us away. They had some super unique designs, pretty wild flight numbers, and impressive flights. A wide variety of weights, and even glow plastic. It caught me off guard for sure. From the beefy 7-speed Trailblazer to the super glidey Momentum and Loop, Supersonic left quite the impression. But the biggest impression was reserved for a new mid-range from down under, the Wonder from Loop Discs. Loop Discs sent us a pair of Wonders to test, and I had a chat with the guys. And honestly, the Wonder surpassed every possible expectation we could have had. It flew incredibly straight, super far, and didn't require a lot of power. And it's one thing for us to find the flight of a disc impressive and surprising, but it's another thing for our video on a disc to make it sell out across the country. I got so many messages from people after that video asking if they could buy the Wonder from us. We only got 2, and I still have one today. And within a couple hours of the video posting, the Wonder was sold out across the United States at every retailer. And that is just crazy. What first impressions stood out to you this year? And what, if any, brands have we not yet explored? Let us know in the comments below. For Six-Sided Discs, I'm Greg. We'll see you in 2026. If you like this content and want to see more, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel, or becoming a member. Your support makes this content possible.